You ready for the Daytona 500 or what?
Howdy YouTube, y'all are tuned into another episode of Trezian Racing here. I'm Ryan, and let me show you guys what I'm doing here. So, in the last video, you saw us take off all this right front frame rail stuff, and what I'm doing now is put it all back together. We have a track that is now going to be letting us do a practice day, a test and tune day, upcoming here pretty soon. So we need to get this thing back together so we can go ahead and try some stuff. I really want to get out there and get some seat time and try a couple things in the chassis and try to get some speed out of the car. So what I've done is I've cut out this portion of the frame that we cut off, cut out this little rectangular piece, so I'm going to put that back and weld it back together. But first, before I do that, if you guys have been with us for a long time, when I say a long time, I mean back in, I guess this was October-ish of 2019, we went to Petaluma Speedway for their open show and raced there, and I totally got the front bumper mangled up. And instead of throwing this thing away, my cheap butt keeps it over there on the side of my shop, and look at this right here. Cut this baby out. There's one straight piece in it. So this is gonna go in here. This is some 1 3/4 thick wall tubing. I'm gonna weld that in place, give it some strength, and now I can finally junk this and feel good about it. So I'm gonna keep on working and getting this thing ready to go because we got all kinds of work to do before we can get this car back on the track. So you guys stay tuned. All right, so got the frame all welded up and braced in there with the that old bumper I was using. It doesn't look too pretty right now, but what I'm doing, I got a couple more of these to go, is I'm just filling in these little holes wherever there is holes in the frame, so nothing gets inside there and plugs it up and weighs it down potentially. Got all kinds of mud in there, as you guys saw. So got a couple more holes to do, and then this will be done, and I can get to something else. I really love
Not really though. Oh.
I ground some stuff off of it to make it smooth so it doesn't tear up my tire when my tire hits it. So I painted it so it doesn't rust.
Oh.
And then also if it rubs again, I'll be able to see it because I rubbed the paint off.
Oh, smart.
Got Livia here spectating. Finally got this right rear frame wheel finished over here. Got this chunk cut off and the new piece welded in, so hopefully this will keep us out of the mud and help us stop digging in and losing track time. So I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna put the rear bumper on it. Got the rear bumper back here from DeCarlo Racing Products. He made a nice piece, pretty much the same exact one that came off of here. He made this one back in the day, so that's the next step. Also filming, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna film.
You're cameraman or camerawoman number two.
No, cameraman.
Camerawoman number 2.
You should show them the tripod.
How am I gonna do that? Oh yeah, with your video. All right, start filming.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch over here.
This is the tripod I got off Amazon. It's
That's hard.
got this little bendy deal on it so you can make it any shape you want to set it down somewhere. But I'm mostly just gonna be using it, I think, for this, so I can actually get far enough away without looking like a retard with my hand out holding it. Alright, so I got the chain all hooked up. You guys saw me grinding that bolt over there on the vise. What I did was I took a bolt that fit this chain pretty well and I ground the back side of the head off to make it flat, and then I went ahead and put it there and welded it up. That should give me some pretty good adjustability
I just gotta turn the chain if I want to go down like one link or something. What I'm doing now is I'm getting some GoPro mounts on because I want to check some suspension components while it's in motion. So I got one there. I'm gonna also check out my right front here. The goal of this whole practice for me personally is to try to get better as a driver, to diagnose the car and know what adjustments to make when the car does a certain thing. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start just changing all kinds of stuff and just seeing how it feels out on the track. Here's the next project. Got to fix this rear bumper mount. This one was a little bit bent, but I was able to stick this new bumper in there and lean down a little bit on that side, and I got it back straight enough that it didn't crack around the welds or anything, so I'm gonna call that one good. This one is pretty mangled. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's pretty pushed in. There you go. It's a better image. It's pretty pushed in, so I'm gonna have to do some work on it. All right, so there it is. Got it all ground flat. I left a little bit of excess here where it was crinkled in a little bit. So I have a nice flat surface to weld the mount onto down here. Obviously I'm over here on the back of the car, and I think this kind of goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. Whenever you're welding around a fuel tank, welding or grinding anything with sparks, you're gonna want to make sure that you have your breather tube plugged up. I use a Sharpie, just plugged it in there. Also gonna want to make sure you have a tight fitting cap and you don't have any fuel lines open or something like that, just to be on the safe side. You don't want to blow yourself up here. All right, got these babies welded back up. Don't look pretty, but it'll hold. That's about as good as you're gonna get with an arc welder. This one came back into shape pretty well. I had to beat it out. So over here, painting it up, putting a couple coats on it, and then it'll be done. All right, just getting a gopher trap set over here. I'm about to go in the garage and start getting this thing done a little more. But before that, I just want to address some of you YouTubers out there, some of you subscribers to the channel. In the last video, we got a couple people commenting that they're from, let's see, we got listeners from Ohio, Colorado, and Georgia. And we got all kinds of racing out there. Some guys are doing demo derbies. I believe that was a guy named Brian. And then there's some guys out there doing some asphalt racing. I think that was Charlie, and then Daniel's out there in Georgia doing the dirt track racing like us. We also got one RC guy, one RC racer out there, so that's pretty cool. Really appreciate them letting us know where they're at. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe now and let us know what kind of racing you're doing, if you're into racing at all, and where you're from. That being said, I just want to see how everybody's day is going. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you're doing today, what your projects are. I'm going to get back to work. Oh man, I got all kinds of dirt in here. Okay, got the body all straightened out. I just put it out there on my back deck and started beating on it a little bit. The hammer got it somewhat decent. About ready to put it back on. All right, we made it here. Antioch Speedway practice day. Got Eric, Dad, Olivia.
Hi, Dad.
Got the car
car warming up, heating it. They're already calling us up to go. So hopefully get a lot of runs in tonight and make some adjustments and go in the right direction and make some speed. That didn't go as planned. Did it now? No, it's the J-bar. J-bar broke clean in half.
Where?
That is.
I don't.
Yeah, let me show it.
Yeah, you show it.
J-bar.
Does it look like a U one?
J-bar took the end right out of it. No, it doesn't look like U-bar. It looks.
Does it look like a U bar now?
No, it looks like a big old cursive C bar. It literally broke the centerpiece right out of it. Might be a little kinked right here. Drive shaft took a nice little hit. Yeah. Or a nice little rub. Looks like I was rubbing there on the cockpit. Huh?
What'd that hit?
It was just rubbing on the cockpit when the rear end moved over so far. Alright, we're gonna check what else is all messed up. Oh, look! My brand new bolt that I welded on here. Tire rubbed right into it. Off the tire.
Oh.
There goes the nylon on that nut right there. Hey! Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna try to pull it.
Should I be standing here?
There it is.
Woo!
You gotta put that one back in.
Why?
Oh, you already know the measurement.
Old one, new one. Hey, Eric, grab that WD-40 too, alright?
See? We're good.
This through that, and I believe this spacer on this side.
Good? This wasn't what I had planned.
It's okay.
I was hoping to move bars, not replace bars.
This is the day to replace them, though.
Honestly, you probably cracked. Nope. This is a long ass bolt.
Yeah, it is. You got a long way to go, too. You really need an 1/8" socket. 1/8" socket. So I could have just put my impact on there and gone.
Do you have one?
What?
An 1/8" socket?
Yeah, it worked.
Going to work.
I don't have one.
Dalton,
No.
what's the track like? Rough and dry or rough and hooked up? All right. All right. Give that a shot. Alright guys, so that's a wrap on the practice day. As you guys saw, the car went out, but it never came back in. We did not get another test session in, which was kind of unfortunate. I'm not really into bashing the tracks at all, but I was in staging for about 40 minutes and just never called my car up to go out there. So it's unfortunate, and really only got one good session in there. I guess technically my class did have 3 sessions. We were there from 5 to 9 o'clock, and we had 3 sessions, and I missed one of them with the breakage and stuff during the first session. The first session was more or less, excuse me, was more or less of mud packing, and the track was super slimy and heavy, so even though we did go green, it wasn't really anything you could diagnose the car with, so I'm not really going to count that. But still, 3 sessions from 5 to 9, not very much time on the track, unfortunately. The track was good though. On the bottom it was dry, and that's what I was gonna mostly be trying to get better at, was the bottom dry stuff, trying to get a little more traction out the corner. But then mid to top it was very heavy and very rough too, which a lot of drivers didn't like, but it was fine for me for what I was trying to do. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the adjustments, only having one real run out there like I wanted to make and see how the car would feel with these certain adjustments I made, which is unfortunate. But the overall good part of the day, I guess, was the fact that we found these things that would have broke during a race, and it's much better to waste a practice day than it is to waste a race day, especially if you have to travel or something. So that's the good part. The bad part is, you know, broke a lot of stuff, popped 2 tires, so that's gonna have to be addressed and fixed. So just money, right? Anyways, I just want to thank my crew, my dad, Eric and Livia, for coming out and busting their butt and getting me back out on the track, so I can make that one session. Without them, I probably wouldn't be able to get out there again. So really
really appreciate that. Dalton was next to us, but he was with his buddy, and I think he did a couple sessions in his car, his sport mod there. So that being said, guys, this is pretty much it for June. We're not going to be able to make this next race here in Susanville with the Tri-State Pro Stocks. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town. So it looks like the next race will be in July sometime. Not sure what tracks are going to be having any races, and hopefully there is a race in July, but I should be there depending on, you know, if I'm busy or not. But I think I have pretty much the whole month of July open, so we'll see about that. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends, and let us know in the comments where you're from, where you're watching from, favorite track, any of that stuff. Just tell us how your day is going so far. So I'll be posting a video here pretty soon on dressing the car and stuff like that, so keep your eyes open. All right, guys.